Pour tout son lisi, éclairtion fini encore. Temps pour être chaîne en nous, c'est temps pour voter encore. Nous voter pour un bon capitaine, un monde qui a pensé à sous la santé. Cagoumé pour sécurité sociale, un monde qui a gardé malheureux, bah nous ti chance pour vivre en bien vie. Hello, 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 hello. That leader, election day, regime, and the whole team, Ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. The team for all of we, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Yellow, yellow. We're voting in unity. Yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Yellow, yellow. We're voting in unity. Yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Vers nous devons songer, nous pas ni l'hôpital qui se tape. Ensemble, jouer avec les sions, faire voir, pas faire slap. Nous devons aussi songer, yo vent souverain nous. Et puis ça, yo fait, passeport accepté. Yo caplerer, c'est de l'eau caïman. J'aime pas ni travail en pièce saison. Dis au clair, nous voter avec vision. Cool les jeunes qu'a dit attention. Election day, régime, and the whole team, Ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. The team for all of we, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Yellow, yellow. Tendez-moi peuple là, pas perdu dans couler là, oui, yo qu'a fait belle promesse, mais pas ni pièce, la jeune, la paye tant pour éclairer. Lumière touriste là, mettez chimé en bon condition, bah y mestre, des plantes grandis, chasse qu'a dit, on fait paradis. Nous qu'a voté avec l'esprit pas émotion, quitter jaune briller, et puis bon, j'ai ces glissons. The leader is election day, regime, and the whole team, Ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. The team for all of we, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Yellow, yellow, hello, yellow. From Grosse-Helle down to Vieux-Fort Shore, tell the youth it's time to glow. Say hello, yellow, let the island roar. No more blue confusion show. We bringing progress, watch it flow. From Soufrière straight to Dennery, we shouting UWP. Hello, yellow, yellow, hello, yellow, hello, yellow. It's victory melody. Hello, yellow. Hello, yellow. Pour tout son lisi, éclairtion fini encore. Temps pour être chaîne en nous, c'est temps pour voter encore. Nous voter pour un bon capitaine, un monde qui a pensé à sous la santé. Cagoumé pour sécurité sociale, un monde qui a gardé malheureux, bah nous ti chance pour vivre en bien vie. Hello, yellow, hello, yellow. That leader, election day, regime, and the whole team, Ooh, yellow. pas fait slap, nous doit aussi songer au vent souverain nous. Et puis ça yo fait passeport accepté. Yo capleré c'est de l'eau caïman. J'aime pas ni travail en pièce saison. Dis au clair, nous voter avec vision. Coulez jaune qu'a dit attention. Election day, regime, and the whole team, ooh yellow, the team for all of we, United Workers Party, Tendez-moi peuple à pas perdu dans couler la oui, yo qu'a fait belle promesse, mais pas ni pièce, la jeune, la paye tant pour éclairer, lumière touriste, la mettez chimé en bon condition, bah y mestré, des plantes grandis, chasse quartier, on fait pareil. L'esprit pas émotion, qui t'es jaune briller et puis bon j'ai ces glissons. The leader is chastened, election day, chastened, regime, chastened, and the whole team, ooh yellow, ooh yellow, two team for all of we, ooh yellow.
Caribbean American News Media, your Tuesday night power hour, live every Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and GVV TV channel 115. Join your host, Garfield Olliver, as he dives deep into the latest inclusion developments, regional affairs, and global issues that matter to you. From politics to the economy, community stories to international headlines, we cover it all with real talk and real insights. Stay informed, get the facts, be part of the conversation. Don't miss out. Set your reminders, share with your friends, and tune in. Caribbean American News Media, the news you report. Caribbean American News Media.
They stream the tears and the cheers so clear. From the church to the pitch, they're always near. Tie the knot or score the goal, my friend. GVD TV's got you till the end. They stream the highs, they stream the lows, from wedding vows to final shows. Through life's twists and the path it bends, GVD's there, it never ends.
Special good night to all our viewers here on Caribbean American News Media Platform. It is a pleasure to be here with you tonight on another broadcast. Again, we want to welcome all our brothers and our sisters to Caribbean American News, the news that you report, of course. Now, I want to greet everyone. Greetings. Folks, we are here. We are here. And it's going to be a time of reviewing. We are going to be looking at the past, the present, and the future. I want you to take the opportunity to share the live and tag a friend to our brother over there in Denver, Brother Soto. Greetings to you, my friends, my friend, and to those of you who are in the diaspora, you are viewing from around the world. I would want to welcome you to your broadcast, Caribbean American News Media, and that is the news you report. So we are live in studio, of course, and as you know, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip J. Pear, did ring the bell, of course, and I was right here ringing also, and I told you that bell, for some reason on Sunday, I had it polishing and everything else, but you know, it is what it is. But yes, we're heading into an elections, and that is December the 1st, 2025. The Prime Minister of St. Lucia did make that announcement on Sunday at 8 p.m., where he addressed the nation, instructing the Governor General to dissolve the cabinet and make all preparations for the elections on the 1st, and I believe November the 21st is nomination day. That's when everything would be in. All the candidates would have submitted their paperwork and everything else, and then the ball will get rolling there. So share a live and tag a friend, folks. We are going to be here with you tonight, going back in times, of course. I wanted to come a little lighter in my dressing, but it is. I gotta just make you feel like winter for a minute, and then we're gonna get our summer stuff on in preparation for the work that is needed on the ground. Please share the live and tag a friend. I'm going to greet you now. I'm going to take the time to greet you because I have not been doing that lately. Of course, we've been working for the past 4 years. Can you imagine? It is for 4 years now. We have been broadcasting uninterrupted on this platform, and I am telling you, friends, it is a lot of work, and I put in a lot of hours today. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what I was doing, but a whole lot of hours today. From the time the Prime Minister made that announcement, of course, we have been working. We've gone into a different gear, and the mood is yellow. The code is yellow. No matter what is going on, yellow, yellow, yellow. Is that true, folks? Those of you on the ground, you got to tell us. So let's go to our YouTube audience first. I'm going to just turn a little so that I can look at our YouTube screen monitor over there. And I am saying a special good night to Sabina. Sabina, good evening to you. Welcome to the platform. That's one of our viewers over there. And I must big all of you up. You were faithful. You were there all the time, and now we are getting close to the end of one phase of our journey. And so, folks, it's been a hell of a ride, and we'll have a discussion on it shortly, right? So we have Sandra Joseph. Yellow is the code. Yes, Sandra, indeed, yellow is the code. Sandra Joseph is saying pleasant good evening to all our flower families and friends, both here and abroad. Stay safe and strong. Loads of love and blessings. This person is excited. Sandra sounds excited, of course. You know why she's excited? Because you know who rang the bell? You want me to remind you, folks? Come on, please, just relax. Relax.
That's a very good question. But what I like the best is how you intend to address it. Attending to address it is not in my it's not in my.
So Sandra, he rang the bell. It wasn't me. All right. So we also have over on the platform there, Curtis is viewing over there in Canada. Curtis, what's the code over in Canada? Greetings to you, Curtis. Now all the greetings are going so fast. I got to try to back it up. Back it up. Yes, my friend. So we have Donovan. Donovan declares yellow is the code. Helena, how are you? Greetings to you, my friend. And there is another person there. My glasses don't bonte or something like that. Yes, greetings. Greetings. Wilfred Sakafed, how are you? Welcome. Let's switch over to our YouTube our Facebook audience, friends. Listen to me. Just bear with me, folks. You know, we have Stanislas over there in Soufrière for the past 4 years. Stanislas have been with us. Good evening to you over there from Sulphur City. We are sending you love and yellow blessings all the way. Sarah says yellow is the code. Folks, yes, I want all of you to type yellow and put a lot of yellow stuff, hearts and everything on the screen. Let's just cover the screen with yellow. Let us vegleyo.
Mon pas ça pour manger bêtise ça.
Well, listen to me, it's not our fault, but vegleyo, yellow codes. Just type yellow everywhere. Put the yellow bells and yellow everything, yellow hearts, yellow up the place tonight, man. By the way, we're going to be changing our background very soon. We're going to be putting up our official election studio setting, so just bear with us. It's a lot of work. I'm telling you, it's too much for me. Yes, too much. Rosemary, greetings to you. Yellow is the code. Yes, folks. If you don't write yellow is the code under the platform, then you don't know what the code is, all right? So once you come in, yellow is the code. Yellow is the code means that you're registered to vote. You're all set. You know where you're voting. Pavinisia, ek pale, ek upoho, ni ID card, nothing done. So just relax, all right? Yes, son, yellow is the code. Yes, look at yellow, my people. Oh, boy. Where is Philip Gilbert to see that Vegle?
United Workers Party, yellow.
Flabo, what's the code? Yes, my friends, Esupawe. Je certainly see. Esupawe. Yes, Zodiga Mare pour Bella, mi Bella. Moi, même, wise me. Mi Bella, Bella Konu, where? Yes, my friends, yellow. Gloria Henry. Yes. Leona Augustine, greetings to you. Meme Dudu Moy, yellow is the code. Dudu pair. And all the greetings to you, Henry. Yes, Flavius. Yes, and me, Ian Chape, the man who predicted all things. No by Ian Twaka all year long, all 4 years. Ian came under pressure, but he got it right this time. Ian, Sakafet, the code, brother.
Flag high, wave it so from Grosselet down to your Fort Shore. Tell the youth it's time to glow. Say hello.
Yellow up the screen, folks.
No more blue.
Zoma de Puli, Mili.
We bring in progress, watch it.
December the 1st. Code yellow loading from Trinidad to St. Vincent. Now heading to St. Lucia. Yes, we're going to paint the Caribbean yellow.
It's victory melody.
Oh my God, Facebook, YouTube is going off the chart. Hillary, Sakafet, my brother. Yes, every time I'm seeing a good morning, a greetings from you, but I just can't respond. Williams, Sakafet, greetings. Yes, mellow and yellow. I like that. Sabo. Yellow and ready. Ready or not, folks? Yes, my friends. Joseph, greetings to you. And over there we have Donovan Chape. And Donovan, I'm ready. Yellow's the code. You know what? Donovan already secured her flight if she's in the United States or England or wherever she is around the world. Her flight is already secured. Well, ma'am. Everything is all set. Si ça peut recette pas mettre pièce yellow là. Ouais. And by the way, Martin Alfred, yes, my friend, yellow is indeed the code. Yes, Gloriana, bright and yellow. Bright and yellow, I like that one. Martin Francis, my brother from another mother. Elsa Sagafet, Miku North N1, code N1. Code N1. Let us call the Miko seat tonight. Code N1. Yes, we're going to call the Miku seat right now. Code N1. If you're voting in code N1, that one is loading. It's loading quickly. Yes, my friends. Code 1. Now, just bear with me, folks. I have something coming in here. I'm going to take it right away, and I'll get back to you.
Regime, and the whole team, Ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. Ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. The team for all of we. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. Ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Yellow, yellow. We're voting in unity. Yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Yellow, yellow. We're voting in unity. Yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Vers nous doit songer, nous pas ni l'hôpital qui stape. Ensemble, jouer avec les si on fait voir, faut pas faire slap. Nous doit aussi songer, yo vent souverain nous. Et puis ça, yo fait, passe pour acciper. Yo caplerer, c'est de l'eau caïman. J'aime pas ni travail en pièce saison. Dis au clair, nous voter avec vision.
Alrighty. We gotta get to work, folks. Enough of the party, and you guys are partying all night. What is going on? Folks, the honest truth, my phone has been going off from morning. From morning, every second, it's just ringing. And that tells me that the folks are fired up and they're ready to go. Elizabeth, where is your code? Elizabeth Kokodu. Tonight is a code. You got to use the code. We already have Elsa from Miku North N1. That's where she's voting. Yako Netzafe. Where is y'all's affair? Come on, folks. Where is y'all's affair? Sandra, greetings. All right. So let's get to work. We have to do something quickly. There is some rumors that is being spread, and we want to deal with that now. So just let me see if I can make contact before we go into the show. I think it's important that I do this at this time. Just bear with me, folks. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of these moments tonight. There's a lot of activities around the place. Guy Joseph, Tommy, and Frivier. There's a whole lot of stuff that is happening. So we have Augustine already identify her code, and that is code C4, Castries North, all yellow. Whoever is in Castries North, you gotta watch your bread, because Augustine is coming for you. Well, it depends on what side you're on, but that's a code C4. That is Castries North. Do you know where you're voting, folks? Castries North. Now, Kirby from the diaspora, USA, Canada, Charter Airlines. Well, we don't know what is going to happen here. But we have an important update that I want to share with you. We have Mr. Martinez, who's going to join us for a short moment. And then we're going to get into the show. We have a whole lot to deal with. So let's get in with, let's bring on Mr. Martinez now. Now, this was not announced. This is just something that I am going to be doing. We're going to call Mr. Martinez, and we're going to share the live, tag a friend, folks. Greetings, Mr. Martinez. Garfield Olliver, Caribbean American News. You're live on the air.
Oh, hi. How are you?
How are you? So long time we have not had a conversation, and there's some stuff that is going wrong. Hope you and the family are okay. There's some talks that are going wrong, and I would like to see if you will want to clear it up.
Oh, what?
Okay, we're having some technical issues there, but just bear with us. Just bear with us, folks.
Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, very well.
Good. So, there is a rumor here, it's election season now, and there's a whole set of different talks going around. So we're hearing that there is a $1 million gag on the government or something to that effect that is being spewed, and that does not sound right to me. I've not seen it in the news. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
gag. I don't understand. What?
Okay, so we're having some technical issues. We will have to try to reconnect. Can you hear me, Ms. Martinez?
I can, but there is an echo.
Oh, let me see if I can. Let me see what is happening here with. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so there is an echo. We're going to be reconnecting with Mr. Martinez. And most of you would remember Ms. Martinez from earlier with the CIP situation. Okay, so we're going to pull him in now. Yes, sir. We are back on the air. Can you hear me clearly now?
Okay, can you hear me? Now I can very clearly, yes.
Okay, good. So, thank you so much for accepting my call.
You are welcome. I could not understand your question.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing something out there about the whole CIP situation with both you and the Galaxy and I believe the government of St. Lucia. And you know, this is the silly season where there's a whole set of stuff is going to be going wrong. Is there any update you'd want to share with us?
No, no update at all. I haven't talked to these people in months. I'm waiting for the U.S. criminal investigation into these people.
Wow. So let's say there is...
Yeah, but a gag of $1 million, what is that?
Yeah, that's what we're hearing out there, that there is some gag order for $1 million, something with the government of St. Lucia.
But what is a gag order? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. What does it mean?
Where individuals are not permitted to speak on certain matters.
Yeah. To pay me, and they would... What you're saying? Yeah, tell them to come to see the United States Homeland Security or the U.S. trial attorney in Miami.
All right. So, because... Go ahead.
Tell them I'm happy to meet them, state trial attorney, or at the U.S. Homeland Security office if there is a gag order. Happy to do that anytime they want.
But for now, you're not aware of any such thing.
Of course not. This is. I haven't talked to these people in months, but I heard that there is an election on December 1st.
Yes, my friend. And guess what? The CIP reports have not been tabled in the House, but the government is dissolved.
The regime and the new people will bring sanity to this criminality.
Yeah.
And again, if they want to talk to me, we can all meet at the UN and security. I'm happy to meet them.
Yeah, sounds good. That sounds like a fair deal.
I'm there now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank
so
you.
Tell the labor hacks. Those they are the guys come to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already there. Okay.
Sounds good. But
that stupid rumor.
Yeah. We having some issue with the lines, but thank you so much for accepting the call and for clearing the air. Basically, on this whole madness. Care. Thank you. All right, so that was Mr. Martinez, folks. The line was not too clear, but we'll follow up on some of the rumor mills that are milling around to distract as we get ready for a very important elections. And CIP, we know, will be on the gender. All right. So let's go over to something here, and then we'll get into some clips, some videos from the past. Now let me just go through some of the district and polling division quickly with you, so that you will have an idea what you are. Jazzy says yellow one ready from New York. Oh boy, yes, New York is really fired up, I can tell you that, and it's looking really good. So let's look at the different districts. So we have the Grosile district, we have Babonneau, Castries North, Castries East, Castries Central, Castries South, Ancillary, Soufrière. We also have Soisel, we have Labrie, Vieux-Fort South, Vieux-Fort North, Micoud South, Micoud North, Dennery South, Dennery North, Castries East. These are the districts. Now, in the districts, you have polling division. So it is okay to say, well, I'm from Grosile, so therefore I'm going to be voting in Grosile. Yes, you'll be voting in Grosile, but there is what you call polling division. Now, here is something. Let me just go through some of the polling division in Grosile. You have the A1, the A2, A3, and A4. Now, let me run over to Dennery South. In Dennery South, you have O1, O1, O2, and O3. Now, there are areas where the folks from Lakai would be voting, and I believe that that is at the old police station there. That's would have been the regular division area there. All right. So, and we have like Soufrière H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and H7. So you got to know your polling division. Now, someone says P4 Dennery North. Yes, P4 Dennery North. So Dennery North is P1, P2, P3, P3, P4, and P5. So there, it looks like currently, I'm not sure if this is updated actually, there are 2 P3s in Dennery North. Maria, greetings to you. Good night to you. Yes, code yellow. All right. Both folks, when you're greeting people, just say code yellow. Greetings to you. All right. So in Dennery North, it looks like we have 2 polling division that are P3 and P3. I'm not sure how that works. We can go into that a little later on. Let's look at something quickly. All right. Well, let's look at something quickly here. Ernest is addressing the nation. I'm not sure what nation he's going to address and what he's going to say to the nation. What is he going to say to the nation tonight that the nation don't know after 4 years? We still have not received the CIP report. I'm not sure what these guys can say right now to anybody as far as I'm concerned. The verdict is in. People are going to be making decisions. It's decision time. We have 20 more days, and then the people is going to make a decision. There's nothing anybody can say right now to change anybody's mind. People made up their minds from, I would think, the first year, as far as I'm concerned, or the second year. People was already feeling the pain, and they were all feeling the insults, and they were all ready to make decisions. Remember, people say, call elections. People were like, this thing is foolishness. You know, people were all ready, and we saw what happened in the last few months, where things were just happening like monies were falling out of the skies. From we don't have money for the roads to roads being built even on the sea. Well, I know I pushed it there, of course. But you know what you're talking about, huh? So, we're not listening to no address from anybody at this time. Okay? So, I want us to look at some things here that you guys might have missed in the... And I'm just going to go through it quickly, all right? And this is the 2021 summary of the results. So in Grosile, I want you to pay attention, all right? In Grosile, you would say that the United Workers' Party got shellacked. They got beaten, flogged. In other words, some people don't like to hear the word flogged. But we got flogged, right? So let's just look at the flogging that we got during that time. And then I will show you why all this flogging took place and whether there's going to be another flogging in 2025. All right? So let's look at this. So grossly, we had registered voters of 24,418. The SLP received 7,077 votes, and the UWP 5,024. All right? So we have vote cast 12,292. We had rejected 121. Now, there's something that I'm seeing here, the trend with the reject votes. I don't know who is doing all the reject and the rejecting, but there are too many reject votes, and I'm sure they're for petty stuff. I'm sure they're for petty stuff. So we have in Grosley, let's look at reject votes, 121. In Babonneau, 144. Now let's say that, let us look at Babonneau seat, folks, right, for a minute. Now, in Babonneau, the United Workers' Party did not take a flogging. I know when I say flogging, what flogging is. They were not shellacked in Babonneau. In Babonneau, you had 144 reject votes, and the UWP getting a total amount of 3,135. The SLP, 3,245. Do you see what I'm saying here? 144 votes rejected. Think about it. Why were they rejected? Huh? Think about this, my friends. Think about it. Think about the shellacking, the flocking, and whether that is going to take place in this upcoming elections of December 21, 2025. So we have Castries now, North. That's 12,282. We're going to have our graphics on the screen, of course, very soon. 12,942 for the SLP secured 3,245 votes, and we had the UWP with 3,001. Sorry, that is, I do apologize. Is that Babonneau I was speaking about? We did Babonneau already. So it's Castries North, 12,282 registered voters. And we have UWP securing 1,530. The SLP did not put up a candidate. And we see the independent vote, the independent candidate receiving 3,674 of that vote. Now, that there was a little flogging as far as I'm concerned. All right. Reject, we had 86 reject votes. And listen, out of the 12,282 registered voters, listen to me, out of the 12,282 voters, you know the total amount of voters you had in Castries North? The total you had was 5,327. So 5,327 plus 86, the reject, went out to vote. Think about it. Out of 12,282. Do you see what is happening here, folks? And we can go down to Dennery South, of course. Dennery South, 5,391. Registered voters. No, sorry. Dennery South, I'm right. 5,391 registered voters. And we have SLP securing 1,548. And United Workers' Party 1,364. Total amount of vote cast over there was 3,028 with 116 reject. Folks, Kwanya Zaka fair ballot la reject. Don't waste your ballot. 116 people wasted their ballot, was rejected. Huh? Think about it, folks. Think about it. So that Dennery South seat is, we got to monitor that seat. That seat is a ripe seat as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not going to say any more on that. Surprisingly, folks, Dennery North is a seat that we got to pay attention to as far as I'm concerned. I've been looking at the numbers and I've been looking at the trend over there, all right? Dennery North, registered voters, 8,706. That's registered voters. SLP, 2,414. And UWP, I think that was Miss Polius, received a total of 2,133. You had in Dennery North 71 rejected ballots. Vote cast in Dennery North was 4,123, and that is out of 8. So almost half of the people did not show up at the polls. And I can almost guarantee you that half of the people was not dead. No. Half of the people were not dead, but half did not show up at the polls. And look at how close it is. So we have the UWP, Farah went up against Sean Edwards of the SLP, and she gave, as a first-time candidate, she gave this man the run of his life when you look at the numbers. So they're out there, Sean again. But if they look at the trend and they look at what is happening in Dennery North, one, you got to look at the total registered voters there, and you want to look at also the turnout. So you had like 46.28%. You had a 53.16%, I believe, over there turnout in that community, in that district, that constituency, which is Dennery South. So I'm just showing you some stuff there that this elections that we're going into, it is going to be an interesting one. It is, and Labrie is one that you need to watch also. So let's look back at 2016, right? Just quickly, and then we'll go into our full show. Let's look at 2016. So for Grosley in 2016, that's when I believe the Alan Shastney administration, remember Mr. Alan Shastney came in new with his team, and he came in fresh and offered a new sense of hope and vision for the country. His vision was bold and big. And I suspect St. Lucians don't really like bold and big, but they were able to, they were in the same position, as far as I'm concerned, almost in the same position as what we're seeing now. The people were just fed up. They were just fed up, and therefore this is what happened. In Grosley, we had 20,593 registered voters. SLP secured 4,552. Guess what? The United Workers' Party got 6,334 votes. 6,000. You know the amount of rejects you had over there? 168. 168. Vote cast at that time was 11,216. And you have a 54.46 or 47% turnout in Grosley. All right? So let's go back to 21 for a minute. I just want to show you something there in Grosley. So this is 2016. That's a 54.47% turnout. Now in 2021, we had for Grosley a 50.34% turnout. So we had a decrease of percentage in 2021. And this was expected because of the COVID-19 crisis. People didn't want to come out, and therefore the people stayed in their yard, like we would say. But in 2016, that was a shellacking for the St. Lucia Labour Party. So at this time, folks, not a lot of candidates can boast that this is my seat, and especially Grosley's seat. If you look at the history there, that's what I'm saying, then you would realize that the people of Grosley, their vote is kind of strange, you know. One time they would put the United Workers' Party, and another time they would put the SLP in, and then they would put the UWP in, and that's the type of trend that you see going on up in that area. And we maybe can talk to some of the residents of Grosley to see what is happening up there with the voters. Now let's go to Babonneau. Babonneau had a total in 2016 registered voters of 11,264. SLP secured 2,483 votes, and the UWP got 3,788. But guess what? You had 265 rejected ballots. Folks, do you understand what 265 reject ballots is? And I hope that the electoral office would have looked at why these ballots were rejected and what can we do to avoid these type of problems. Because 265 is a whole lot of votes. Sometimes that's a whole area of votes. Or, well, should I say community? Of course, there are smaller communities, of course. But there's a whole lot of votes, wasted votes there. So the United Workers' Party did give a shellacking to the UWP. All right? So when you see politicians walking around boasting that you lose and I win, you want to go back and look at the numbers and look at a pattern of voting. And I am not sure, and I got to look at it a little closer, I am not sure what's going to happen in some of the seats. I'm looking at it carefully and prayerfully. I am not sure what's going to happen because you have a sense of a large group in some of the communities is silent, they say nothing. And normally when you see that, it is either because the possibility is that I don't want to speak, I don't want to be victimized, I don't want to be out there to people to come after me, I want to save my job. And once you have that feeling that people are afraid, they're afraid to speak because they'll be bullied on air or exposed, or somebody will curse their mother or threaten to kill them. And so you have those silent voices. Now, these are the voices you got to watch going into an election. These are the people that will stay quiet. They will not show any move towards any of the party, but they're going to go in silently. And they're going to send a strong signal. And you got to look at the Christian votes, and not only the Christian votes, of course. There are a whole lot of people in St. Lucia who are not Christians, but they are decent citizens, and they don't like all these things that they are seeing. All the racism and the bigotry and the cursing of people online and the abuse, the bullying. They don't like that. What they will do, I'm telling you, they will hold their breath and hope and pray that the bell will be rung, which happened on Sunday, and they will go in and make a difference, and they will send a strong signal. They will vote, and they would say, look, this is not what we want in our nation. This is not what we want in our House of Assembly. We need some decency. We need to pull this thing back to some form of class. And we want our young boys and girls, when they look at the House sitting, they would not learn these bad things that they've been seeing, of course. But we need some more decency. Those voters will send that signal, and most of the times they would vote the party that is in opposition. They would vote the party that is in opposition, because most of the times it is the party that is in government that would have brought them to this place where they're feeling uneasy, unsafe, and having to protect their sanity, protect themselves by not speaking up on most of the issues. And we saw that throughout the 4 years. A lot of people went silent. A lot of people was not talking. Did you see that? Yes, folks. That is something that you'll want to watch going into this election. So we're going to move out from the polling and everything else. I just wanted to point that out to you, that you should not let your heart be troubled, and don't let anyone make you feel that they own any seat, or, you heard the talk all through the 4 years, 17-0. 17-0. You are the prime minister. We're taking all 17-0. Any government that can boldly and presumptuously say to its people that we're taking all the seats, all, you got to be kidding me. It's either you see a way around the way, how you can get to 17, not whether you do your nastiness or you engage in stuff that you should not be engaged into. Because if you're going into a fair fight, what you will say is, look, the possibility is there that they can win and we can lose, and the other party would believe the same, that going into an elections, that there are a whole lot of different possibilities. We can lose, we can win. But to say we're taking all 17, and you will never, and we have always heard this thing from the labor especially, never, you will never, over my dead body. That SLP have always been doing that. Remember, they underestimated Mr. Chasney over and over, and they said to him, look, you will never, over my dead body. Guess what? He was standing right there as Prime Minister of the country. Now they're not learning. They're saying the very same thing. Never. You will never. Now, Alva stopped saying the never because he learned not to say never. Right? Even on what you call that thing. Look, I forget it. I forgot the thing. My brain is not functioning really as it should, and I left my drink somewhere over there. But he could not tell you certain things, and he's a never as far as I'm concerned, But they underestimated and they got into problems. Let's look at some of and I'm going to read some of your comments live on the air. I see our YouTube channel is over 415 viewers. Thank you so much. And the whole screen is called yellow. Somebody says, Cici says, Garfield, you would be surprised. Some people cannot make an X. The candidate have to instruct them, make sure that the X is in the box and nowhere else. So somebody is making some sense. And what I promise you is that we will teach you right here on the air how you should cast your vote. We'll have videos, and I'm sure the opposition, Mr. Chasney and his team, will have some educational programs to teach you, the citizens. And I want you, as we educate the people as to how to vote, I want you to look at the numbers coming out of this December 1st elections. You got to inform the people. So in the box, folks, you must ensure that your X is in the box. Not on the box, over the box, by the box, away from the box, in the box. Bullseye. X ou pa we clair, di se moun ou pas we clair. Machek li letou, glasses ou, clean it up. You understand? Ask for help. Put your finger in the box and take the pen you can't use pen. Take your pencil or whatever, your finger, and make sure your finger sit in the thing and go up, down, across. Just dispowet, just go home and watch the result. And make sure that your vote is not spoiled. But what can I say? But the whole channel over there is yellow. Facebook, I need you to be yellow too. The whole of YouTube is yellow. So let me just read you a statement here. Augustine over on Facebook is saying the electoral department don't have any integrity. They cheated and claimed spoil vote. Well, I don't know how to confirm that, to tell you the truth. Therefore, it is left also to the poll watchers from both parties to ensure that, you know, the right things are happening in the checks and balances got to be in place, of course, so that you would not feel that your democracy is being stolen from you. Once the people start feeling that their democracy is being stolen from them, then that's a problem. But that's not the environment that we want. That's not what we want people to have in their heads, that the election is being stolen from them. No, sometimes you have to, and I'll tell you the truth, sometimes you have to trust your electoral process. You have to verify, trust but verify, but you don't want to cast a shadow on it, because if you win, the other party can say, well, you all cheated. If you lose, then you can say, no. If you see irregularities, things that are not kosher based on the constitution, on the laws, then you would want to share it with a lawyer, share it with your party agent, but we do not want to just go out there and say, they stole it, you're for blah, 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 blah. No, you are damaging your electoral process. And so that is something that is a part of the democracy that I believe must be safeguarded. It must be protected. And so we got to be very careful sometimes when we cry foul at these polling booth division. And we got to understand what goes on there. They are agents from both parties. They are supervisors. They are people that are there to ensure that the law is followed, while there are hacks in those places that might be tempted to do foolishness with themselves. Then we always need to keep our eyes peeled to ensure that nothing unusual is happening in the polls. And if you ask me, yes, in many democracies there are problems with the electoral departments. They're not up to date. They're just like a mobby shop. Like in Guyana, every year the elections are being challenged over there because maybe there is no real reform. Just like Dominica, the people of Dominica are saying, look, we need electoral reform. The system is not working. The system is outdated. The system is not allowing the democracy of the nation to prevail. Now, when you have that cry, of course, then you know you want to target your politicians and maybe force them to look at some of the reforms that are needed in these countries so that, again, the democracy can be safeguarded and you can exercise your franchise with peace of mind, of course, knowing that, look, my vote is protected, my vote is counted, I'm not being cheated, my party is getting a fair share of the process, and there is nothing untowards happening at the polls. All right? Wester says, now I am in complete agreement with you, Garfield, or what you have just said. There's education. We got to educate the people. So don't go into polls believing that your vote will not count, and don't stay home believing that your vote will not count. Every vote in elections matter. Every one vote. Don't think that your party won and you're staying home. You should be proud, folks, to get up and say, look, I am going to the polls and I am voting for my party of choice. You see all the mapui and the nastiness people are doing? It makes absolutely no sense in a democracy. That's banana republic. That's garbage. That's filth. That is uncivilized behavior. Déclassé as far as I'm concerned. You know your choice. You have already debated with your UWP friends or Labour friends, and you have showed them where Pierre is doing magie, and you have said, oh, Shasne, we don't trust him anymore. And you go to the polls and you demonstrate that with your tikwa. All the nastiness don't make any sense. None of you going to convince each other with all the cussing of mother and this. As a matter of fact, you push each other far further and farther away from your party because they say, that's a take. That's how people will talk. Hey, yo, I joué mama me cousin moi tout moun. Yo, I joué they even joué my dog. And they want me to vote for them. Huh? So again, that makes no electoral sense, if that's even a term. All right. So let's go over to some old clips that I want you to look at. Folks, I'll tell you the truth. There is something that I want to remind you of that took place during the 4 years of the SLP leadership. All right? And one thing I want to highlight is racism and bigotry. And I'm going to show you how alive it came in this last SLP administration. Something to the liking that we have never seen in a long time. Racism, open racism, in a house that should have protected the opposition leader, Mr. Alan Chastney. Yes. In schools, we protect people from bullying and racism. In churches, we do the same. In any civil society with decent leadership, they will stop that racism. They will block it in its track immediately. And I know why I'm saying that. I came from a background in St. Vincent where we had all different races of people. We had the mulattoes, we had the whites, we had the Indians, we had the Caribs, the Arawaks, we had a whole different bouillon of individuals that we lived together with. Like my family, my father's family, they are white type, not mulatto type, but my grandfather was a U.S. Sailor. My grandmother on father's side was whiter than Mr. Chastney and his family. Blue eyes. My grandmother on mother's side was more Carib type, Indian type Carib. She had straight hair and blue eyes. And we also had the Indians among us. And my grandfather on mother's side was jet black. So in my family, we had that mixture of humans that we never once looked at as superior or not superior or better than us. No, we knew that the rich people had an advantage. That's what we were concerned about. They had an advantage. They had the big homes. They had all the nice things. Their children came to school showing off with all their nice, expensive stuff. And most of the times we could not. Those were the issues we had. And there was not jealous. It's not jealous. It's just like, wow, I wish that we had those things, you know. And most of you know what I'm talking about. But what, and that's what I'm saying to you, I am not accustomed to that because I know my background. I know my family history. And I know what it's like for people to look at you and say to you that you're not one of us. So sit over there, or you just can't be among us because we are this. We are Spanish, or we are you know what I'm talking about, folks. And so we witnessed that in the people's house with absolutely no protection for Mr. Chastney from the government or the speaker. Nobody protected him from the racist, bigot statements. The Speaker of the House, who is no longer the Speaker of the House, thank God, allowed that racist, bigot environment that he presided over. And I want you to remember, folks, that this is time for the scorecard, for us to check the work of the St. Lucia Labour Party. We're not checking the work of the opposition. They had their check marks already and their reward. 4 years you voted them out. This is all about the SLP. Shasney don't have to account on the UWP for anything. You guys voted him out based on what this group told you. And we will get to that throughout this broadcast. And we are putting together a series of propaganda, lies, and deception that you, the citizens, got caught up in. And what happened to you, I will explain to you, from 2.5% to insults and cursing you guys off on national radio from your government. I'm going to show you what you went through as a result of what they told you. That was not even making sense at all. Horses before hospital, garbage. Banana Republic talk. Government invested in horses and sell passports to get horses. Baloney. Smuckish behavior. So let's go through the scorecard, and we start from tonight to rate the SLP administration. And we're going to rate them through their surrogates too. Because not once you heard them correcting their surrogates and say, stop. No, enough. You talking and say that you talking on behalf of us. We don't need that type of thing. You better stop. That's nastiness. Stop. We didn't hear that. All right? So we are scoring them also based on the content from their surrogates on their side. And I will outline the surrogates one by one to you and their actions, so that you can make a conscious decision for that reset that we have been speaking about in the nation. And I always say to you that righteousness exalts a nation. We did not have righteousness exalting the nation. So let's go. So I am going to show you the racist behavior from the SLP towards a St. Lucian citizen called the Right Honorable Alan Shaston. And the possibility is there that he can become the next Prime Minister of this same country called St. Lucia. I'm going to start from the Prime Minister, Mr. Philip Juppé, in opposition. And then we are going to go over to Mr. Joachim Henry. Then we'll go back over to the Prime Minister and then to Mr. Richard Frederick. The scorecard is being written right now. The playing field is clear. You now got to answer to the citizens of St. Lucia. And it starts right now on Caribbean American News Media Platform. All right, so this is clip from the Prime Minister on St. Lucia. He was opposition leader, and this is the foundation that is set for what took off like wildfire in his administration: racism and bigotry.
I'll tell you something, the Prime Minister hasn't lived in St. Lucia for a while. The Prime Minister doesn't understand. You see, you can't blame the Prime Minister. He hasn't lived in St. Lucia. He doesn't understand St. Lucia. He doesn't know what St. Lucia is all about. The Prime Minister has been very lucky. He's not St. Lucian. The Prime Minister has his coat and tie and going to buy hot bread. Why you ever people going to buy hot bread with a soup? Bluff.
Not 8 hours a day. Not from 8 to 4. That is how police working. 8 to 4. 8 to 4. That is how they're working. They have to work.
All their life they make money selling apples. But recently, guava get good. So eat a guava is the best fruit.
rules or no ticky-tock can ever take me out from keeping my eye on the prize.
Can you believe that? Look at how genuine Mr. Shastley is. You think Philip Pierre will ever put himself at the back of a van like that? That is humility right there. Yes. I love this man.
You see, the problem in the leader of opposition is his history. That's the problem. My history is clear. But he wants to divert his history like he sits in the back of a pickup. Doesn't even know how to sit in the back of it. Doesn't even know how to sit in the back of a pickup.
Not because he believes St. Lucians are stupid and he can fool them with his Yankee accent and trying to play he can speak patois. Mais fâché.
And on the island.
The leader of the opposition goes over and says St. Lucia is unsafe. People are afraid. Quality of life to St. Lucia. St. Lucia cannot be a place where you are afraid. And it's up to you. The onus is on you to bring that life back. We can bring it back.
Feel afraid, but yeah, tell them you lose, we beat you. And when I'm in parliament and you talk, I say, I beat you, I beat you.
Let us offer each other the sign of peace.
Corresponding banking relations. You know what Shasta wants for you? He wants you not to be able to use your credit card again. That's what that means. That's what it means. You know, it's not explain to you what that means. When you lose corresponding banking relations, you cannot use your credit card. So your children studying abroad, you can't send money for them on the credit card. That's what Shasta wants for you. You know, I'll tell you something. The Prime Minister hasn't lived in St. Lucia for a while. The Prime Minister is not.
So, there you have it. Started right there with the opposition leader at the time, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. I don't understand this childish type of discussion. I've never really heard other prime ministers doing or having these type of conversations. Even in the region, you scarcely hear that from Mia Mottley, from Dominica, from Grenada. Matter of fact, Grenada Prime Minister, I think he has settled in, in his role, and you don't see him doing those things as a young prime minister. Ralph Gonsalves sometimes have his craziness. But what you see here in St. Lucia, what you saw from the Prime Minister of the country, we must call it out for what it is, friends. Racism, bigotry, pettiness, and childishness. So Mr. Shasta eats a guava. Prime Minister has a problem. He talks about it. The opposition leader, Mr. Shasta, plays marble with the kids. It's a problem. Opposition leader traveling from Viewfort, stopped at Tomaso, get some hot bread. It's a problem. The opposition leader has a certain accent that he cannot control. Pierre can't control whatever he speaks there. Well, I don't know if to call it an accent or what, but he can't control that. It's not him to control it. Shasta can't control it. Yes, you have people who try to yank, they travel overseas for 2 days and they start yanking, hi, young water, and also, and you know they're fake through it all. That's not Shasta. On a bad day, you get him the same way, on a good day, the same accent. So he's not the wannabe Yankee, nice, hi, dude, how you doing? Oh my God. You know how you do it. Ain't it, brother? Ain't it? Go to England, you stop at the airport. 2 days at the airport, back to your country. Oh, you're yanking around. I was in England already. Yes, of course. Why not? Yes. That's not him. But, of course, the Prime Minister had enough time to speak about his accent, the opposition leader. Although I wish that more of these government ministers had some accent, of course. It means that they would have been exposed to the open world and understand what decency and class is all about. Yeah. I would believe that a man speaking well, putting his tongue between his teeth as he speaks. And he raises his chest in confidence because he can speak to the people of the country very clearly and speak in words that does not offend even the children, of course, or words that does not violate many of the understanding that we have had around the world when it comes to racism, the blood and the fight that our champions of freedom fought for. You would think that the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and his cabinet would have understood that and would have been more controlled in their racism and bigotry. But they don't have an accent, of course, so they wouldn't know that. What can I say? Stopping in New York for 2 days or 3 days on Eastern Parkway would not teach you that, of course. Yeah. And so that's what we witnessed as a nation for 4 years in the people's house, that the people are about to sterilize. The people of St. Lucia, they're about to clean that thing up. Not with Clorox, of course. Something much stronger. People of the country are about to clean up their house because it has been contaminated with bigotry and racism for 4 years. Hatred and bitterness. 4 years. Let's go to Mr. Joachim Henry.
Years of slavery. To still have within our politics, I couldn't be bothered who, to use slavery as a means, to use misinformation as a means of gaining power. Misinformation is how I characterize this Atlantic slave trade. We had to be deceived, our ancestors.
Now, mind you, there is no slave owners in the house. No. Nobody connected with slave or the slave movement is in the house, folks. None. No. All you had was Mr. Shastner sitting there as opposition leader. And Flex. He looks like he's mixed Indian, you know. Just two different race from the black people you saw there, you know, sitting, just want to contribute to the development of their country. Just want to serve their country, of course. But these bullies, they were bullies. They tried to bully their way. This is what we had, folks, for 4 years in the house.
We found ourselves. We cannot, after so many years of slavery, to still have within our politics, I couldn't be bothered who, to use slavery as a means, to use misinformation as a means of gaining power.
So, this is Joachim Henry. By the way, he got fired from being a candidate by Lisa Joawa. Lisa fired the same racist guy, full of his pouring in racism, got fired while he was doing all that. Did not watch his business, of course. He was watching the wrong thing. You studying race and doing your bigotry stuff while they're plotting to fire you, and you did not see that because you were not watching your business, of course. You were interfering in stuff, having discussions that you had no place in discussing, but got fired while you were doing all that. But we continue. We have another one, folks.
This member, who pretends that he's all knowledgeable about everything, did not have the accent that he has, he would not stand a day in this house. I know St. Lucians. But of course, when we could speak smoothly, when we could speak with a sound on our lips, we can fool a lot of people. That I know to be true, not just today. And I'll say it because I believe it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Mr. Joachim, is that you did not have a smooth accent, you and PJP, and you fool a whole lot of people, so you're confusing us, the people. You did confuse us for 4 years, of course, because you say, Mr. Shasta, the people elected him because of his accent. Here we go again. The man accent is a problem, is a discussion for debate. While, by the way, the citizens were catching hell at the pumps, while the citizens were catching hell at the supermarkets, catching hell to get a passport, catching hell to get medical care, no sheets, no supplies at the hospitals. They were in the house talking about Mr. Shastney's accent.
That's a very good question. But what I like the best is how we intend to address it. Attending to address it is not in my... it's not in my...
You also had that too, folks. In the house, that was in the house. I don't know. When I was in the house, he was at a press conference. But while you were going through hell, St. Lucians, raising funds, selling barbecue pork and chicken back, and legs and wings to get medical care, you had a well-dressed politician with all the other candidates talking about Mr. Shastney's skin color. He's not one of us. And his accent. But listen again. If you think I am misleading you, I want you to listen again, folks.
This is what makes a difference. This is what makes a difference. And do not even speak about land. You shouldn't be speaking about land. You know, and this is the thing about it, Mr. Speaker. In St. Lucia, I have lived my life here. I have lived my life. And I've seen people come in St. Lucia and pretend that they know everything. And sometimes our people will listen.
So he have seen people, and he's just dropping Powell, you know, Powell Bolawi, Powell GT, of course. He's saying that people come, like Mr. Shasta came from somewhere in his country and with an accent and fooled the people. Folks, I'm ashamed to have this conversation with you guys. I'm telling you. The teachers that I work with, they're white. They're respectful, they're kind. We've never had a problem. And we never brought up race. We treat each other as equal, as humans. The kids, we treat all of them with love. In spite of their challenges, we treat them with respect and with love because we are all human beings, whether we have an accent or not. By the way, everybody have an accent. Manufactured or born with, or, you know, circumstances, geographic position.
We listen to people who come to St. Lucia and pretend that they know everything. I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, if this member who pretends that he's all knowledgeable about everything, did not have the accent that he has, he would not stand a day in this house.
And the speaker sat there and enjoy. Go, Mr. Joachim, you're doing fine. Exactly, keep going. And the other members, yes, tell him, yes. You lose and we win. Guess what? None of them in the house anymore. Not today, not tomorrow. People are about to put people in there. I can also guarantee you that Joachim is not going to be in there. He can go for a site visit. He ain't going to be elected to be in there, I can tell you that. That one I know for sure. But some of you don't know that, of course. No? What can I say? So let's go to another clip. And this one is in the same house that was violated by these racist men.
Apologize. Very simple. 3 words. I apologize. Very simple. 3 words. I apologize. Very simple.
So they were so distracted that they got their words mixed up themselves. I wish it had an accent, of course. Maybe the St. Lucian people would understand it. But let's go to get the icing on the cake from the St. Lucia government, St. Lucia Labour Party government. Bear with me, folks.
A file big so. You know, I have a file big so. Because the police officers just started feeding me with the information I needed. And all what I say, I have a file big so. You know, I have a file big so. Because the police officers just started feeding me with the information I needed.
That's your SLP government. The police was feeding them against the citizens. Giving them, that's what the guy said. They were just feeding me, giving me. So whole cause up at the bone. Some of you wanted to cry, you wanted to talk, you couldn't talk. When you see the brother pass, you have to bow and say, "Hi, honorable boss, how are you?" Now boss was singing a different tune. Recently, everybody, you voting for me? I giving you what I want. Yeah, I mean, you know, we look out for you, and yeah, you voted for me. Yes, look, yeah. But the police boss said was giving him information, not against the foreign government or somebody down Brooklyn, you know. Files on the people of St. Lucia, the people in the country. You know what that means? That the agencies of government was weaponized and turned facing the citizens of the country. When you select a government, your government should protect you, the people. You should be protected from your government. Your government did not know their place. That's the problem. Felt like kings. King of the jungle. I'm the boss, and nobody can take me out. That's the feel that you got, right? But Nebuchadnezzar, of course, Nebuchadnezzar felt that way. But oh yes, his kingdom came crashing down, and the Bible says, "He that uplift themselves shall be abased. And he who wants to be great in the kingdom must be least." Got to be servant. You got to use servant leadership. Not to show lordship over the people. You are servant of the people. You are there to serve the people. But you got files, of course, against the people. But let's continue. There is more to the story, of course.
And all what I say, I have a file big so. You know, I have a file big so. Because the police officers just started feeding me with the information I needed. And all what I say, I have a file.
Pile, folks. We are just doing the scorecard tonight, you know. And I know the problem, you know. They're going to get angry with me. I'm doing a scorecard. They give us all the clips. We're giving you the clips back. And we are marking the register. We are marking the register, oh. And I guarantee you, on the last day of November, we will give you the results. And we're going to ask you to come on the 1st of December for your official scorecard. We will give it to you. But now we are marking your register. There is no way you can do the corrections now, of course, too late. You have violated the people and trampled on their freedoms of expression and their freedom of conscience was being stifled. The SLP was wrong for the citizens of the country. And they could have done well as a government. Yes, they could have done well. But their focus was on hatred, bitterness, anger, racism, and bigotry. And it took all their time. Sin will take you further than you want to go. Yeah?
She went on the news and writing letters saying, since when City Council owe people booth, you just put up a trend, they owe you a booth, and you're writing lawyer's letter. According to your poor bailam, running after the car. Julian Alfred, don't forget Shastley. Can you believe it? So the same car, that Joycelyn, remember Joycelyn? Yeah. Karen, you Scadi, I'm not even going there again. You buy your place, you buy issue, you pay parent, you vle l'autre place encore. Ça y est. C'est où qui beau PCCC. Ça où est let avocat from Sarah Flat. Your history of not paying rent anyway. So yes, it's the same car that Joycelyn woman. She went on the news and writing letters saying, since when City Council owe people booth, you just put up a trend, they owe you a booth, and you're writing lawyer's letter. According to your poor bailam, running after the car. Julian Alfred, don't forget Shastley. Can you believe it? So the same.
So we didn't do anything to the clip. That was just raw. Attacking a vendor. Government attacking its people. Prime Minister say, I don't know, I didn't see. Wink, wink, I didn't see. I don't know. Joycelyn got embarrassed by the government of St. Lucia. And there were tons of people mocking her and laughing, calling her viecalte, not paying your rent. You know, you imagine a government of St. Lucia embarrassing its citizens. And a whole lot of people, Christians too, clapping and enjoying. Yes. Tell them, Mr. Bin Honorable, tell them. $4 years. They made you afraid of them. You couldn't even speak. On the Chasney, you guys would have been rioting, marching. Oh my God, there will be unrest. But you were afraid of this government. Government that should have protected its people turned against its citizens while accusing Mr. Chasney in 2021 of turning against the citizens of St. Lucia. But we'll have a conversation on that, of course. Because what I can say to you, COVID-19 was not Chasney, and Chasney was not COVID-19. He didn't invent it. He did not invite it to St. Lucia. He did not bring it to St. Lucia. Matter of fact, he had positioned St. Lucia to take off, and it was on its way off, taken off. He didn't invite it to the country. He did not welcome it. He fought it. He took an oath to protect St. Lucia and to stand up against any threats, foreign or domestic. He took that oath. And COVID-19 came to kill and to destroy the citizens of the country. And because of the oath, he fought it. And he saw it as a terrorist. And he fought it with everything that the state have, all the resources. So Mr. Chasney was not COVID-19, and COVID-19 was not Alan Chasney. But you guys appear to almost have been in the same category with COVID-19. The people were afraid of COVID-19. They were hiding from COVID-19. And for 4 years, they were hiding from their government, taking their pluck. Vendors who want to speak out and shout out, no, they can't because, oh, the government will expose me. I haven't paid my rent in 4 months. I am owing the city council. So they were taking their blows because there was no government to protect them. So, I want to take you over to another clip, of course. And like I remind you, St. Lucia, this is the scorecard. And I know that they have a habit of cursing your mother, your cousin, telling you don't come to my country. Oh, they say a lot of stuff when you point out their shortcomings. They insult you. They threaten you. For 4 years you have been threatened, bullied. The time is now, St. Lucia. You should celebrate. Celebrate St. Lucians from the length and breadth of the country, from the bow of the Piton to the plains of Dennery, to Cap State and to the Lasso Frere. Celebrate St. Lucia because you have taken, they are now off your backs, and you have only 20 days to make a decision to where your country will go. Breathe again, St. Lucia. Breathe again. Go open your windows and breathe in and breathe out. Exhale, my friends. You made it through 4 years of insults. You made it through, St. Lucia. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. All of you should be happy at this time. Celebrate, St. Lucia. There is no more House sitting and Senate sitting. There is no more lives for you to be insulted on when you comment under those lives. No more insults for now. No more embarrassment, humiliation. Breathe again, St. Lucia. Breathe again. It's your moment to enjoy your country once again. Breathe, St. Lucia. Breathe. There is no COVID-19 and there is no SLP government right now. Breathe again, St. Lucia. You have the opportunity to make a decision, a conscious one. And if this government, and yes, they have done some good things, of course, but the bad things have outshined the good things that they did. If only they had keep away from the racism, the nastiness, attacking the nation, then they would have made a little more sense. But it was mired with bitterness and attacks on free speech. And anytime free speech is threatened in any democracy, and anytime the government turns against the people, no matter how much money they give you, their scorecard should be a F. Failure. If only they had stayed away from their bitterness and kept it to themselves, or kept it in their rum shop. But they turned their darts at the citizens of the country. And now, they got to reckon with the people, but we can breathe again. There's an old song which says, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. All of the bad obstacles in my way. There is a rainbow I've been longing for. It's going to be a fine or a good sunshiny day. Breathe again, breathe a some. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny yellow day. Many are hoping for a yellow day, but for now, my advice to you is to breathe again. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for you and me. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful world. Isn't it a wonderful world? Isn't it a wonderful thing to know that you don't have to tune in to NTN again? Or you might just not have to see some of those people again in your house. So you can see clearly now. The rain is gone. The bad obstacles in your way. And you've been hoping and longing for the rainbow. But hey, folks, it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Yeah, man, breathe again. Breathe again, St. Lucia. Don't be afraid. Breathe. Breathe again. They're off your backs for now. But the people will stand on the 1st of December. And they will select their government. And I pray that they select a government that will respect their freedoms and their rights as citizens in the nation. But it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Breathe again, folks. But listen what you went through.
That Joycelyn, remember Joycelyn? Yeah.
That's your government, folks. Imagine the outside world looking in to the St. Lucia government attacking its citizens. That is all it is, you know. Did you realize that you were being attacked? Yes. I'm going to play it again for you to see. Yeah, I'm going to play it again for you. That's an accent too, of course.
So the same car that Joycelyn, mem Joycelyn, yeah. Khaled, you Scott.
Now, some of your government ministers songs like little, you go by the river and you hear two sisters, they're arguing, maybe over a stone, their favorite stone that they would wash on. You go to the river, you have your favorite stone, you mark the stone. That's the stone you want. In your head, that's your stone. But you want to wash your clothes? Ou vle lave hat salou, sou wash sa. And the women, when they gather by the river, where the same person that don't really like that person, but the person on their stone, and they come down and they grumble by the river, and they grumble, and they just burst out. And they begin to curse you and tell you, ou led patient yeki ni, makotan, vie kabwit, vie cochon. You understand what they do by the river? Down by the river. Well, I feel like singing tonight, of course, because we can see clearly now the rain is gone. But I got to remind you, of course, the storm that you went through. Storm SLP, of course. And many of you tried to call, Mayday, 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 Captain. The ship is sinking. But you couldn't even cry out. Because if Buddy sees you, whole cow pardon. But let's go back to the river talk. We were down by the river, of course. By the rivers of Babylon. The two ladies fighting over a stone. Vie wash your cargo me. Pa wash yo. Yo pani papier pour wash la. Me yo ka di tout de bêtises. That's what I'm gathering. Listen to this. Tell me if that's not what you're hearing. Let me play it again. Are you not getting that feeling that you're by the river arguing over a stone? Huh? Let's look at it again.
So the same car that Joycelyn, mem Joycelyn, yeah. Khaled, you Scotty.
Moi vle wash moi, qui te wash moi, moi bon Dieu, qui te wash moi, ma coton, pas crier non moi, pas toucher moi. That's what you feel from your government? Yeah.
So the same car that Joycelyn, mem Joycelyn, yeah. Khaled, you Scotty.
Joycelyn.
I'm not even going there again.
Are you not getting it, folks? Joycelyn.
You ba ou yo place, ou ba ish, ou pa parent, ou vlo lot place encore. Ça y est.
Folks, the truth is men not supposed to behave like that, period. If you are a man and you're doing that foolishness with yourself, you need some control, self-control. You need some discipline. I am telling you, men, if you are behaving in such a way in our democracy, young men, I'm speaking to you, this is not the way you speak. And even though a woman does something to you, this is not the approach. She's the weaker vessel. You're supposed to be strong as a man. Well, supposed to be strong as a man, of course. But as young men, pull up your pants. Pull up yourself by your bootstrap. Be a man. Control your anger, your tone. Be respectful. Have self-control, friends. That is what is lacking in our nation, in our democracy. Self-control. You say what you want, where you want, how you want. You don't care where you say it. A house, anything that comes to your head, it comes through your mouth. Well, somebody said, back in the days, they would call it verbal diarrhea, of course. I don't know if you still call it verbal diarrhea, when people just say whatever they want. You ever see people there in a funeral service, and if anything comes to their head, you just got to. Have you ever met people like that? Very awkward. You meet them down the road, they're telling you something that's embarrassing. They're out talking loud. I saw you by the door pooping. You were down there pooping by the big stone. But I didn't want to say hi, because I didn't want to bother you. You know that type of thing. People will not say, let's not embarrass her. Or let's not embarrass him. It's called self-control. But you had a government, folks. You had a government that had no self-control at all. You mention the name and they're mad. They want, who is he? Who is she? I want information on her. Who is she? Who is his mother? Who is she cousin? I have never seen anything like this in a long time. But St. Lucia can breathe again. And if you think it gets bad, let's go to Shelton Daniel, of course, of the radio station, television station in the country, in your country. And I think it is something that you might want to pay attention to. We come in the next few days. We have all the slides and everything, videos. We're going to bring them forward, of course. We documented everything for now.
In the context of the St. Lucia Labour Party being in office, I think too many of its supporters don't understand that support means sometimes leaving people alone, giving them a chance, giving them a break, giving them some space. Stop breathing down their neck all the time and stop behaving like everything that the opposition says has become a political emergency, which means elections must happen now. And oh my goodness, they have a live, they have a town hall, they had a match, we're going to lose, and so on. And predicting how they will lose and everything. You know what's the best way of protecting the victory? You know what's the best way of repeating the victory? Performance. Give them a chance to do work because they clearly are working. Give them a chance to do the things that you know they are doing because you're seeing it, you're hearing it, whether it's youth economy, whether it's this, whether it's that. You know they're working on something all the time, whether it's St. Jude Hospital or GPH or whatever. You know, or pushing to see that this investment gets underway and that and the other. You know they're doing it. Give them a chance so that they can perform, so that their performance and the results that they proceed will be the greatest defender and protector and repeater of the victory. Stop acting like you're in a panic over every little thing and then you want to call them and you want to transfer your panic onto them and so on. And even if they don't repeat the victory and they don't win, their legacy of having performed and having done for St. Lucia, having corrected so many of the misdeeds of maladministration and incompetence and blatant lack of integrity and so on that happened.
Okay, so let's just deal with Mr. Mr. Man. Okay, enough. So what was happening is that the people in the Labour Party, the supporters, were complaining. We were highlighting, by the way, what we were seeing, and so the Labour Party people are now saying, but we're not seeing our representative. We're calling him. They're not answering us. They're not in their offices, blah, blah, blah. And so the people were complaining. They were not getting the support from them. And so Mr. Buddy guy is saying, well, let them work. You don't have to, every time you're calling them. No, the people elected you all because you guys were at them all the time for their votes. So when the people needed you guys, remember that you guys added 2.5% on them. When you added the 2.5% burden on them, 2.5% burden on them, they were calling their reps for help. But their rep, I can't afford the sugar, I can't afford the rice, I can't afford that. God, it's too much. Give me a $500, give me $100, I got it, help me, please. And they couldn't find you guys because you added the burden on them and you ran. That's what you did. You added the burden on them and you head for the hills. You padika wezo. And for those of you over there in Canaries and Slurry, I'm sure you might be seeing your rep now, of course, but too late is his cry. And I'm sure some of these concerns were from ancillary Canaries, because we heard the complaints that they were not seeing their rep. They did not know who the rep was. Dennery was the same. Dennery South was the same. And all of a sudden, Prosper shows up in Dennery, and he's so interested in every corner of the community now. Oh, yes. Prosper is all over the community. But the people were not seeing them. And you know what they were doing? They were driving with their new 4x4 vehicles with the glass up now. Before it was down, but now it's down again. Everybody gets a ride. Hi, Sister Teresa, you want a ride? We're going to Castries. Where you want a ride at the hospital? All of you are seeing your reps now. And they're fooling you. They're playing with your emotions, of course. Psychological warfare. They're sitting by this Daito. They're all over the place at your funeral service. They're all over your church. Run them out of your church. And some of you City West priests preach and pastors need to stop that garbage. When they come to your church, don't even look at them. They only come during the elections. And some of them went into one of the Catholic church and refused, they violated the church, refused to shake another one's hand. They're violating your churches. That's what they're doing. There is one tried to have a big church service. Nobody came to the church. Using the church as their toy. Quoting scriptures like they're prophets and kings. Yes, they're in every funeral service now. They're worse than Rambali and Lazarus. They're eating out of your black pots that you cook on the stove, on the wood. They're all over your garden, like farmers themselves. But you could not seen them for 4 years while you were under pressure in your country. You were catching hell to survive. You remember? Some of you are still catching hell. Now everybody gets $500. Everybody gets $200. Everybody. I saw my SDA church, yes, all the schools got $100 and something thousand. Where were you guys 4 years ago? Where were you? So, I'm going to open the lines. I'm going to open the lines now if anybody want to call. I've given you 4 years, folks. I've given you 4 years. I've taken the insults. Now is your time to right the wrongs in your country. I can't write it for you. You go write it. You're the one who feeling your pain. Go and do what you got to do. Some of you have a lot of excuse. You're in your country, you don't even have an ID card. And you're talking about your pain, the taxes, the road. And you don't have an ID card. You don't know where you're voting. You're planning to stay home. And you're catching hell. You're being insulted. Huh? And you don't know where you're going to vote? Huh? And then you're complaining? That's your... Listen to me. I'm in the United States. You guys take responsibility for what is happening in your country. This is your time to fix it. It's in your hands. It's in your hands. Folks, give me a minute. I'm going to call you. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Election day, regime, and the whole team, ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. The team for all of we. Yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, yellow, yellow. United Workers Party, yeah. Yellow, yellow. Tendez-moi peuple à pas perdu dans couler la oui, au café belle promesse, mais pas ni pièce l'argent, la paye tant pour éclairer. Lumière touriste, la mettez chimée en bon condition, bah y mestre, des plantes grandis, chasse quartier, on fait paradis. Oh. Sunday, regime, and the whole team, ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, 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 two team for all of we, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, 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 ooh, yellow, 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 United Workers Party, yellow, yellow, hello, yellow. From Grosselia down to Fort Shore, tell the youth it's time to glow. Say hello, yellow, let the island roar. No more blue confusion show. We bring in progress, watch.
Yes, my friends, thank you so much for being here with me. I just had to slip out for a minute. But as I was saying, folks, you need to go out and make a decision, conscious one. And don't be fooled with money. There's a whole lot of monies going around now. It wasn't there 4 years ago. But monies are flowing like a river in the country. Do not be fooled, or you will go through the same cycle again. You're going to go through the same cycle again. And this time, I'm going to keep my peace. So go out there and do what you got to do. Encourage your neighbors, your children. Go out there and vote for the United Workers' Party. Blessings to all of you, and have a good night.